Alright guys, I fixed it in your face. This is the 2017 scooter I just picked up. Still in fairly good shape, however it needs a lot of work. But just a reminder guys, my videos help you. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, it helps. Plus you get a chance to win a giveaway whenever I do them. And I like giving away scooter gear and doing that kind of stuff for you guys, but I don't make these videos for me. I make them for you. So you can clearly see this was registered in 2022. Gave me the plate with it. Needs an oil change. Battery was dead when I got it, but looks like it took a charge. As you can see, it's home now. Definitely took a charge. So that's a good sign that it's taking a charge. Here's the interesting thing. He had no tools to work on this, so he actually ended up buying everything that this requires. However, he went a little too far. It needs a headlight. He bought the headlight bulb. It needs a master cylinder, front brake master cylinder. He bought that. It needs a belt. He bought that. Needed a tail light. That was the only thing that he was able to install with his current tools that he had at the house. And then he thought that it needed rear brake drums. And after further inspection on my part, the brakes have been backed all the way off. So clearly the brakes still work, they just need to be tightened. So there you go. That's a really simple fix, and then this thing should start and run, and then we'll have an idea of how the carb's doing, what kind of fuel he's been using. The gas in it smells fine, it's getting power, the starter's working, but the clutch definitely needs to be, or the belt needs to be put back on, then the clutch needs to go, or the case needs to go back on, and then the kickstart needs to go back on there, and then we'll see how this thing does. So all the rest of it's simple. The brake master cylinder is simple, the headlight is simple, all the rest of it is very simple stuff. So the scooter should be up and working within tonight. I should have this up and going. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off the clutch so I can squeeze it, open it up, put the new belt in there. So we're going to pull out my impact wrench. I have a 14 on there currently. We're going to impact this off. If you don't have an impact wrench, boy, you have a lot of work ahead of you. Having power tools, even small ratchets that are electric, are a big difference on how these projects go and how easy all of this plays out for you. So let me go ahead and pull that off. I can see that the Bendix clutch is still in fairly good shape. If not, I have a new one that I can put on there. We'll test it first, see how it does. So let me pull this clutch, make sure the clutch is working good, and we'll slap the new belt on there. I'll see you guys in a sec. So here's where we're at. Belt case has been put back on. I'm letting the battery charge again because I ran it down, but clearly he couldn't get it running properly. Looks like he tried some stuff and couldn't. It wants to go, but it doesn't. Sounds like it's not getting enough fuel. Hey, just kind of dies out immediately. See what I'm saying? So it runs for a second, then just dies out. Sounds like it's not getting any kind of real fuel. So that would lead me to believe it's time to pull the carb and have a look at what's going on inside the carburetor. So it's running, but runs out of fuel. I put more fuel in there, so we definitely have a carburetor fuel related issue going on here. So I'm going to pull this carb off tomorrow. We'll let the battery recharge. Electric start is working. Lights are working. Tail lights are working. So yeah, this one's on. This should work now. There we go. And blinker should work. Excellent. Blinkers on the front. Yep. Blinkers on the rear. Yep. Blinker on that side, yep. Okay, and then these are working except headlight is not on, so I do need to replace that headlight bulb. Okay, so it looks like I got my work cut out for me tomorrow. However, this seems really simple. It just seems like it's not getting enough fuel. So I'm gonna pull that carb, we're gonna have a look at things. That would be the problem right there. It's got the original carb on it still, and clearly he's done stuff. And on top of that, the entire engine shroud is missing. Oh boy, fun stuff. But that is definitely the original carburetor. So, I know why this is having problems, because the carb is all gummed up. So we're going to take it apart, clean it first, before I have to see if I need to replace it. But I can tell you right now, that's the original carb. So, and he's obviously probably not tuned the jets for this by taking off the stock filter and putting this performance filter on there. That pod filter, I'll guarantee you it's not tuned properly for it. So tomorrow will be another day Hashtag troubleshooting no start scenarios and not wanting to run right. Stick around. We'll figure out the problem real quick. Oh, buddy. Good morning. Fresh day outside. Last night I did a lot of work. I ended up tearing the valve cover off, doing valves. I did go ahead and throw a whole new carburetor on there now, so it has a new carb. I currently have the air filter off. The old carb is over there on the shelf right now. And we still seem to have a problem here. I got it running, but it's not running great, right? And that was after I replaced the CDI module. So it's got a new CDI, and then I was like, oh, well, that didn't solve it. It made it run better, but it didn't solve it, so I put a new coil on there. Same results. So I give it power, I kick it, right? There you go. She'll start to run. Yeah, but definitely not great. And the clutch is engaging, so that's definitely the wrong belt on there. It's not blowing smoke or anything. The exhaust smells pretty normal. So I definitely got it to a running point. Right? And the headlight bulb does not need to be replaced. That's working. So we got a little backtracking to do. So it's had a valve job now, new carburetor, fresh gas, fresh fuel filter, and it still is having a problem. So I think it's time to go through the vacuum system on this and see if we have a vacuum leak anywhere. The piston doesn't sound that bad, but I think it's time to give this petcock fuel system down here a look at and see if maybe this petcock is starting to fail. But I got it running. So let's see. If you try to give it too much fuel, it just tries to die off. Now if you hold it there or you rev it, most of the time you can get her to go. Now she still hasn't warmed up yet, but slowly let it climb in speed, and then it gets up there. Once it warms up, it'll let you give it some throttle. So clearly there's still something going on here, but we're not blowing smoke, so I don't know how long this thing hasn't run. So I'm gonna go more in depth. We're gonna get the ether out here in a second. I got some starting fluid. We're gonna be spraying some starting fluid, if I can find it, around the engine. There it is. We'll spray some ether around there. And we'll see if anything is leaking. We're waiting to see if the rev comes up. No, that didn't do it. Alright, well, let me shut this down. I'm going to take the belt off there because this will run a lot better if it's not trying to engage the clutch right now while I'm working on things. Definitely has the wrong size belt, so yeah. Alright, I went ahead and put the correct belt on it now, so it's nice and loose, moves up and down. It's a crap belt, PowerLink, and you can see it's 6.6 by 18 by 1x30, made in China. It's a PL 2050-07. These are cheap belts. They're like $8. But as you can see, this one's finally moving how it should. So it should be good to go. Back tire should not spin once it's started, but like I said, you'll see that just by spinning the front, because this is what's going to be spinning, and this won't engage until this gets to enough of an RPM that it starts to drop the belt down. So as you can see, free spins easily now. The back tire doesn't move. So when you put the proper parts on, then things just work. So that solves that problem. We're going to go ahead and throw the gear case back on, or the CVT cover back on. Then we'll throw those bolts back in there, and then we'll move on to the next step here. These really come in handy, I promise you. They speed up all of your jobs, make your life a lot easier. There we go. And then one more here. This thing puts down a good amount of torque for a $40 eBay toy. I've had this for 7 months now, and it's worked for everything. That's a nice little tool to have, and of course you need a decent impact wrench to kind of do all this. It really speeds up the process. So that's done. I'm going to put this back on there. Right? Loosen the bolt here. And then we gotta find out why this thing's running crummy. What the deal is. But we couldn't have it slapping the belt system around like that. That was not good. Alright. Let's see here. Damn it. I want to do this. I want to get it on there, but gotta get past a certain point here. There we go. There we go. Get you on there good. That's beautiful. Beautiful. We'll slap that puppy on there. Suppose I could have put some penetrating oil in there, but I don't really deem it as being necessary. Oh, come on now. I don't want to strip you. What's your deal, pal? Yeah? It's gonna be like that, huh? I feel you. Alright. A little change of rule of the tools here. 8mm. Come on, get on there. What's your deal? There we go. I'll get you on there. Don't you worry about that. Like a glove. Alright. Next step. Let's see what's going on with this thing and why it won't run right. I'm going to crank it up just to make sure the clutch isn't engaging prematurely, but everything seems normal right now. That's all good to go. Alright. Alright, so I went ahead and replaced the Petcock fuel system right there, the vacuum-driven system, and fixed the back. So all I have left to do now is put on this brake master cylinder, and this thing will be ready to sell. Check it out. How's that run? Pretty good? You even had a valve job. There you go. That's how you make $700 or $800 like that. Whee! I might even go for a ride today. I accomplished all my tasks like I needed to. Might even go for a brum 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 brum.